What's up, Radiant Souls? You know, this is a safe space for like-minded individuals who prioritize wellness, okay? And today we're going to be talking about just because you're in a season of isolation doesn't mean that God's punishing you, or it doesn't mean that you're never going to have friends or find community, you know, just because you're going through this season. So seasons of isolation are necessary so you can grow and evolve. So typically when God is working on you and he's wanting you to become that best version of yourself and he's sharpening you up in certain areas, he kind of has to get you alone to get your attention, right? So never question why God is doing what he's doing. Always know everything is constantly working in your favor and that God is not doing anything to you. He's doing it for you. And something that helped me finally realize that was my mentality. I was operating from a place of scarcity. I was operating from a place of feeling like, you know, I'm always alone, or I'm wanting this community, or I'm wanting these friends, I'm wanting to do stuff. And it wasn't the season for that. I've had my seasons where I've had hella people around me, but they don't even love me for real. They don't even like me for real. And I didn't have the discernment to see that. So God had to separate me from certain people and sit me down so that I could finally work on myself, so I can do the necessary work to know, okay, when this person is supposed to be around, okay, I need to put this person in this category. Like, it just helped me evolve as an individual to live a better quality of life. So I'm telling you, whenever God got you alone, whenever God got you in those seasons where like he's hiding you from people, or you know you're being developed in small ways, that's a beautiful place to be in your journey of life, because you know in that next season you got to go apply that knowledge that he taught you in that season of isolation. It's just a season, it's not for the whole time. So when you get lonely, I started to do passion projects. So I stopped looking for everybody else to fill my cup because nobody was around to do it. Like, even if I wanted to be around people, I stopped feeling safe with certain people in my life. Like, my nervous system wouldn't even let me be around the same people that I was around before. So I had to start learning how to do certain things that filled my cup and that made me, you know, like I need a way to express myself, because as humans, like typically we need friends, we need a vent. And I had to figure out how to fill my own cup without going external. So I had to go within. And it taught me everything that we need and we seek externally, we already have within. So you need love, you got love to give. You need validation, you got validation to give. You know, so, and I also found that through creating, it helped me feel alive. So like, I don't need connections that are based on escaping or things that aren't healthy for me. I realized most of my connections were not from me operating as my conscious self. It was me operating as my lowest self. So God removed me from those people so that I can continue to develop the woman that I'm becoming today, right? So I started reading self-help books. I started to work out. I started to learn how to take care of my skin better. My hair, I started to really like fall in love with me. So now when I do hang out with certain friends, when I am in certain environments, I kind of feel like immediately I can feel when something's off because I'm good. I spend time with me. I know I can, you know, I know when I'm good and I know when I'm not good. And I started to realize like, okay, I try to hang out with people from my past and we no longer aligned. Like I can only see them once every few months, and even then I'm not coming to every event that's had because it's like we just don't vibrate on the same frequency. So now I feel like I attract at the level that I'm operating at. So I attract from a place of abundance. So I'm attracting people who think the way I think. I'm attracting people who create the way I create, who are not trying to escape, but actually they're trying to fulfill their purpose. So whenever God is like shifting your life, he's not trying to punish you. Whenever God got you in seasons of isolation, he's building you up to become the best version of you. And really, you gotta get to the point where you only rely on God and yourself for that love and validation. You know, because oftentimes we pour from an empty cup. We be so busy giving to other people. And it's like sometimes our cup is empty and we're looking for other people to pour into us when the whole time you can pour into yourself. So a lot of times in childhood, when you go through traumatic things and you're neglected severely, you learn that like you have to perform to be loved. You know, so you're just performing and you're over giving in the name of love. But in reality, like love just is. And once you start to love yourself, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to see when people genuinely love you. You're going to be able to see how people genuinely feel about you in the smallest of interactions, because you consider you now. You care about you now. You know, you feel deeply for you now. So you know when people don't. It's so clear. Like, I recently reconnected with someone from my past, and it was just so clear. Like, oh, you don't care about me. Like, I'm not saying you don't have some type of love for me, but you don't deeply care about me, because if you did, the way you're maneuvering, you wouldn't be maneuvering that way. But then I also thought, people who don't love themselves or like, you know, value themselves, they don't have the capacity to value or love you. So back then, I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself consciously. I thought I loved myself, but consciously I wasn't loving myself. And I was attracting at that level. So whenever you try to go talk to people from the past, you don't even vibrate on that frequency anymore. You know, and then everything clicks. There will be full circle moments where everything clicks in your head and you're like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. God is working on me, you know, and he's preparing me for the next season of my life. But you ain't never gonna make it to that next season if you're so busy holding on to the season from the past. Like, let it go. That job that didn't work out, let it go. That relationship that didn't work out, let it go. That friend group that left you when you was at your worst moment, let it go. Let it go and make space for what is for you. Because what is for you is around the corner, but you just have to believe it. You just have to have faith in God. And again, the direction you're going is more important than the speed you're going at. So versus putting an unrealistic amount of pressure on yourself to be at a certain destination by a certain point, enjoy your journey. Be in alignment. Regulate your nervous system. Like, that period of isolation it's for you to learn. It's for you to self-improve. And whether you choose to self-improve or not is on you. But if you don't do the necessary work, you're going to repeat a chapter of your life that you've already lived. You know, so the whole point of life is to evolve, to attract better, to do better, to be better. You feel me? And if that's not how you're living, then it's like you're going to live in the same cycle of misery for the rest of your life. And there's a deeper desire inside of you, you know, to gain consciousness, to live a better life. So, you know, it's a personal choice that you have to make to stop looking at it from a negative perspective. Like, oh, I'm always alone. Like, or stop looking for ways out of isolation. Like, if you ain't got no car, sometimes you need to sit at the house. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm telling you, if you lose that job and you got to sit at the house for long, sometimes you need to sit at that house and you need to think and you need to process. You know, it's not always a loss when things don't go your way. Like, God be sitting you down to protect you. Like, I'm a firm believer. Like, if I have a feeling that I'm not supposed to go somewhere, I just don't go there. Like, I don't have to know why I'm not supposed to go there. I trust the fact that God gave me that discernment in my gut that this ain't for me. But when you don't listen to that feeling, God has to sit you down, because you wouldn't sit yourself down. God gave you 1,000 signs that you needed to sit down before he sat you down, and you ain't do it. So then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to sit her down to protect her, because if not, you know, you never know what God protected you from by removing you from certain things. So you got this. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing, you know. Seasons of isolation can get hard, but you'll learn to love your own company and enjoy your own peace. And you're going to become your own best friend. And you're going to become so self-assured that, like, anything outside of you is an addition. And when I tell you, that's such a beautiful place to be, because when you don't rely on external validation, like when you really like yourself and you don't need other people to like, you don't need other people to like you. You don't need other people to speak life into you. Anything they do is just an addition, and it's kind. You appreciate it, but you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. You just know you need the love of God and self-love to move forward. That's a powerful place to be. And you know, it's also a powerful place to be when you know that no matter what you lose, God is always going to give you something better. Like, God will never take something from you and not replace it with something better. So it's like, in those periods of your life when you're in isolation, when you feel like you want more abundance to come into your life, you're on God's timing, not your own timing, and you can't control the pace at which your life moves forward. So like, if God wanted you to have a social group right now, you would have one. If God wanted you to be in that career right now, you will be in that career. God has you where you are for a reason. So lean into that versus trying to go around it and get out of it. Like, lean into it. The only way through it is through it. So like, process those difficult emotions. Like, come to terms with the things that you've been avoiding. Reprogram your subconscious mind. It's certain things that are needing to be done in that season of isolation. So don't dwell. Don't pity yourself. Don't wallow. Acknowledge how you feel, but then get up and be a big girl and actually do the work to improve your quality of life. And I'm telling you, there's a certain level of peace that comes with being in alignment. There's a certain level that your skin is going to glow different. I'm telling you, like, you're going to talk different. You're going to walk different. You're going to attract different. Like, you're truly going to be operating from a place of abundance, but that can only happen if you do the necessary work to live a better quality life. You know what I'm saying? So listen to God. When God sits you down and isolates you from people, he's protecting you for something, and he's building you up for a greater season in your life. And so often when God sits us down, we start to get in our head and we start to feel like you're failing or you're not moving fast enough. But that's why I said earlier, the direction you're going is so much more important than the speed you're going at. Like you're Godspeed, okay? Go Godspeed. And I feel like when you go against that and that's a scary place to be. When you go against it, like God keeps sitting you down and then you keep going against it and then something bad happens. Like I remember I'm telling you, I got in the worst accident of my life. I've been in certain situations where God kept taking my car from me and I just knew like God want me to sit down and reflect on my behaviors, and I refused. For years, I refused. I always found a way. Oh, I'm gonna get a rental car. I'm gonna do this. I found a way around it until it got to the point where it's like God will take away every access and every resource to make you face yourself and to make you deal with the parts of you that you're trying to suppress. You can't escape you. You can't escape what's inside of you. You can't escape the lessons that God is trying to teach you. And the more you try to escape, the longer you're going to be in a chapter of your life that was been supposed to be closed, but it can't get closed because you keep avoiding the work necessary to close it. Go to that new chapter in your life by doing that internal work. Go to that new chapter in your life by trusting the fact that God knows best for you. And my name is Imana. So my name means woman of faith. And I feel like in some moments of my life, I lost faith or I lost hope. Like I was so sad for my circumstances. I felt like I had given so much to everybody else. And when I'm in my lowest, nobody's calling me. Like I'm not even wanting money. I just want I want to feel like somebody cares about me when I'm not convenient to care about. And it was just like a season in my life where I really had to like learn my internal value, because externally my world was being shifted in a way that it had never been shifted before. And if I didn't love myself, what would I wouldn't have had anybody. So I just feel like God's love and self-love will always get you through seasons of isolations. And then once God puts you back in the mix, he puts you back around people, now you'll be able to maneuver better and then also have better intuition for who really likes you and who's just around because it's convenient. It's okay for some people to just be around for a good time and not a long time, but it's good for you to know that in the back of your head. So at the worst moments of your life, those are not the people that you expect to be your support system or your team. You know what I mean? Like I'm the type of person where like I'm supporting people, but they're not supporting me. Like I'm giving for people's birthday. They barely, I'm over giving, And also I'm the oldest daughter. So I feel like if you're the oldest daughter, you feel me? Like sometimes as the oldest daughter, we're programmed to overgive. We're programmed to put ourselves last. We're programmed to like, just take care. Like I was a parentified child, meaning like I helped my mom take care of her other kids, like cook for them, clean for them, all these things. And it's like it took away the one time in my life where I should have been carefree, but then it also programmed me to perform to be loved, because I wasn't just loved for who I was loved for what I did, and it just wasn't a healthy place to be. So God had to dismantle that entire belief in me, and he really had to sit me down, because one thing about me, I'm ambitious. And I'm gonna go get me some money. I'm gonna have me some motion. I'm gonna live the life that I want to live. But it got to the point where I felt so burnt out. I didn't even have the desire to get money. Like I didn't even have the desire to go hustle and get money. And God was really trying to talk to a deeper part of me and have me heal that inner child inside of me and really reconnect with him and realign my faith, because I was moving out of alignment, and he loves me and he was protecting me. And I see that so clearly now. But at the time, I couldn't see that. At the time, I was so sad. I was devastated. I was angry. I went through the phases of grief. Like you low-key be grieving your old life, grieving your old friends. And then when you get to the end of it, you realize like, okay, all of that was just for me. All of that was to make me a better person and a better version of me. So now when adversity strikes in my life, when bad things happen, I already know like it's God working behind the scenes. God is protecting me from something, especially when it comes to rejection. I'm telling you, rejection is God's protection. You really got to look at it like that. So if somebody just disappeared from your life, if opportunity just disappeared off the table, you have to trust in the qadar of Allah, meaning like the decree of God, right? So God knows what's best for you and when it's best for you. And some people were never meant to go all the way with you, and God had to kind of clean, knock them off in order to make space for what is for you. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be getting down on yourself. Really get into the word of God, and also start doing little things that, make you love you more. So like for me, I start working out 5 days a week. I start reading. I start journaling. I start reading 1 page of the book every single day, my Quran. Every single day. So now I'm doing self-help. I'm gaining my faith, you know. I'm strengthening my faith. I'm strengthening my body. And then I just kind of added on to that, you know. So it's one thing to say you love yourself, and it's another thing to live like you love yourself. And if you actually love yourself, you're going to have to do the hard things. You're going to have to sometimes work out when you don't feel like it. You're sometimes going to have to, you know, like do the content when you don't feel like it, read when you don't feel like it. Like, you know, you're going to learn how to like truly, when you love yourself, you show up for yourself the same way you were showing up for all them people. So, and I realized it was so hard. It's easier for me to love other people than it was for me to love myself. And that's when I knew like, okay, yeah, I need to, I'm setting myself up to be taken advantage of. And then once I get taken advantage of, I'm complaining and I'm depleted. But in reality, you put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of when you don't do the necessary work internally. So when God isolates you, trust me, his rejection is his protection, and he knows what he's doing, y'all. And y'all got this. I have a TikTok account called Radiant Souls. I have an Instagram, Radiant Souls. So definitely follow me on those. I post different types of content. And nonetheless, y'all, isolation is for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you, and you got this. And I will drop a video every single day this month. I'm on a mission I usually post more shorts than I do full videos, but I want to build a community, engage more than y'all. So if you stay to the end, drop your social media handles below. I'll follow you. I'll engage with you guys as well. And yeah, I created Radiant Souls. It's a safe space for like-minded individuals who prioritize wellness. So we're going to talk about all type of stuff on here. But all in all, we want to be well emotionally. We want to be well mentally. We want to be well financially. And I'm telling you, they're all correlated. They're all correlated. So we want to be balanced. No one's perfectly balanced, but we want to do our best to be balanced so that we attract, you know, we attract what we actually want to attract and not what we're subconsciously at the level we're subconsciously operating at. So, all right, beautiful people, I will see you tomorrow.